Hi everyone, welcome to BioGenie, a podcast where everyday life meets science. My name is Arya Parekh, and today I am really excited because I have with us someone who truly lives and breathes biology, our IPDP teacher, Dimple Ma'am. She is known for making the most toughest and complicated topics interesting and real. She's been pursuing a PhD in microbiology, and I'm so happy to have her here. Dimple Ma'am, thank you for coming to the show. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me here. I'm really excited for today's podcast.
So let's dive into today's podcast. For the first question, so Dimple ma'am, you've been teaching IBDP biology since a long time now. So what originally drew you to biology and how has that passion evolved for you to start your PhD in microbiology?
So, like the passion about biology started really early. I was always curious about how life works and why cells function the way they do,
Yeah.
and how the smallest organism can make large impact to our ecosystem. Then, when I started teaching, I realized that biology is not just about memorizing concepts and all. It is about seeing the connection between all those things and finding it more lively. Now, as a PhD
Student,
learner, I get to explore my curiosity at deeper level as I am researching about microorganisms that influence human life and our ecosystem.
that's very interesting. So moving on, the IB curriculum encourages inquiry-based learning. So how do you relate that with the structure of microbiology? Because it's so detailed and focused.
So, microbiology is detailed, and you cannot escape the detailed pathway, metabolic pathways, and bacterial taxonomy. Whereas IBDP's inquiry based curriculum helps to humanize this complexity.
Yeah.
For example, it makes a bridge to go forward in the research field of biology. So, for example, your IAs and E's help
Yeah.
you to structure the lab reports and all of that, making you more prepared for the future research that you would like to do in
Yeah.
future. And it also gives you information and kind of thing that biology is not just something to study, it is more alive and to explore in
Yeah,
it.
because biology is such an interesting subject. It's so in depth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're working on a PhD while teaching full time. So what's the biggest challenge while managing those two worlds, and how do you cope with all that?
Nice question. Actually, it becomes really difficult some days to manage both of the things together. My biggest challenge facing this would be changing a mental switching between both of the roles. For example, when I'm teaching, I'm guiding my students, and it takes more of communication and patience while I'm doing that. But in lab, I'm a learner,
Yeah.
and that needs more of focus and persistence.
Yeah.
So that is a kind of challenge that I face on a regular basis. But what keeps me going is the sense of uh, purpose, that when I'm teaching, as I said, I am shaping young minds, and when I am researching, I'm actually contributing to the knowledge.
Yeah.
So that is what keeps me going.
Okay. So is there a particular discovery or concept in microbiology that you think every student and all the future scientists should know about?
Future scientists, though I'm not sure, but yeah, every student, absolutely. In microbiology, there's something called as microbiome. It's the study of diversity of microbes that are available in our surrounding. So most of people have this mindset that microbes are dangerous to humans,
Yeah.
but in reality, we depend upon them. For example, our gut microbiome is very essential for our immunity, digestive system, and also for our good mood. Um, a real life example would be nowadays students are facing a lot of problems with anxiety problems or depression problems. This is not just to do with the social and emotional environment they are in, but it is to do more with the microbiome that is related to our gut and our body.
Yeah.
So that is one thing, and if student understands this, they will not see biology just as a subject, but they will use it as a lens to view life. That will make it more easy to understand.
Okay. So, with all the rapid changes in genetics, biotech, and environmental sciences, how do you keep your teaching relevant and engaging for today's students?
So I always tell my students that biology is a moving story and textbook is just one chapter out of it. So I always try to include any new update, any new documentary or an article or a research thesis that is
Yeah.
being posted somewhere that is connected to the curriculum or the syllabus that we are doing, that keeps it more connected to the real life and application based study happens. So that is the way I like to keep it more interactive and
Okay.
updated.
So, I love how you connected the classes to real life. I found it very easy to learn that way.
Learn, yeah, that becomes a little bit easier to understand the concepts as
Yeah.
well.
So, if one of your students told you they wanted to pursue a PhD in microbiology or any other field of biology, what advice would you give them?
I do say don't do it just for the title, do it for the curiosity.
Yeah.
PhD is not about intelligence, it's about resilience. So choose the topic that genuinely fascinates you, because PhD is not just one time go. You will have to repeat
Yeah.
those processes, revise, and come up with new theories and methodology. That might drain your mental strength at the time, but if you are really connected and you're really passionate about that topic, then it will make you go a long way. So yeah, that is what I would like to say, that choose your topic that really fascinates you, not just the random one that is available. So do your
Okay.
research properly
Yeah.
by choosing a proper research questions.
Okay. What topic interested you the most or you found the most fascinating when you were doing your PhD?
So when I started doing it, see, I'll connect this to chemistry a little bit to
Okay.
make it more sensible. You know, periodic table now, we
Yeah.
have all the elements listed on it. We know that all the elements are there, but in past we didn't know that there are so many elements
Yeah.
available around us, right? In microbiology it is same. We know that there are few organisms around us, but there are a lots of organisms that are yet to discover.
Yeah.
So you can actually randomly take any fruits or any soil or any marine water and start researching about types of organism, and you never know that you might come across a very
You
new
might
and
find something
noble
new.
organism out
Yeah.
of it. So there's always a scope of finding some new
You can make new
organism,
discoveries.
new discoveries. So there's always a surprise factor in it. So
Yeah.
that is really very fascinating.
Yeah. So I think that's pretty inspiring for all our young viewers. They might also go ahead and do some research now on new topics.
Definitely they should.
So lastly, what study tips would you give to any student?
I would like to say that all students need to learn how to ask questions actually. They need to ask why and how.
Yeah.
Keep questioning, keep researching all those gaps that are there in the information given in your textbook. You can always go on some research website and research about all of those, and that will actually make your topic more interesting.
Yeah.
Because after all of this, learning is not just about finding answers, it is more about learning how to ask better questions.
Yeah.
So that would be a tip for all of the
I think that's
students.
something me and my viewers can use.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone, that wraps up today's episode. If you enjoyed today, then make sure to follow us. And don't forget, biology isn't just a subject, it's life itself. And thank you so much, Dimple ma'am, for coming on this podcast today. I think it really helped me and our viewers also. We learned quite a lot of new things
Thank you
today.
for having me today. Had a great time sharing my experience with you all.
So, catch you all in the next episode of BioGenie, where everyday life meets science. Bye.